Why do you think it's necessary to carry out electoral reform at this very moment, and who would be the biggest beneficiary? How would electoral reform lead to advantageous environment and better development of Hong Kong?
It is actually very essential and very timely to improve the electoral system of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region in order to bring Hong Kong back to the right track. There is no doubt, based on what we have seen in recent years, both within the Legislative Council and also outside of the Legislative Council, that the current electoral system has deficiencies, or what we call loopholes. And if we don't plug these loopholes, we will be returning members to the Legislative Council who would not be patriots, who would take advantage of their position as a member of a legislative council to conduct acts or activities which will endanger national security and the interests of the country, which will weaken the governance of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region government, which will continue to cause a lot of internal rift and tension to the extent that we simply could not effectively govern this place. And more worryingly is they will undertake activities which may be regarded as subverting the power of the central government and also the Hong Kong SAR government. And we have seen some Legislative Council members also going abroad to invite foreign governments and foreign parliaments to impose sanctions on Hong Kong. All these acts and activities are undermining the stability and prosperity of Hong Kong and take Hong Kong sort of away from this one country, two systems principle. So the reason why the National People's Congress has to make this decision is to solve a problem which is now becoming quite critical because elections are coming. So that is the purpose of introducing the improvements at this point in time. Now, who will benefit from improving Hong Kong's electoral system? Of course, it's people of Hong Kong. At the end of the day, if Hong Kong could strictly and faithfully implement one country, two systems, then Hong Kong's long-term prosperity and stability could be assured. And then the 7.5 million people in Hong Kong will be able to live in a more peaceful, safe, and rewarding way. Very much unlike what we have seen in the past. And in addition, from an economic development point of view, it is quite clear to me and many people that Hong Kong's future lies in integration with the mainland. Especially now we have approved by the National People's Congress this 14th five-year plan. So you imagine if the Hong Kong SAR government or the Legislative Council are filled by people who are not patriotic, who want to do things that will undermine the security of the country, who have absolutely no interest to safeguard one country, two systems, then we will not be able to take advantage of the many opportunities in the mainland development to grow Hong Kong's economy and to improve the livelihood of the Hong Kong people. So I think at the end of the day, every citizen of Hong Kong will benefit from an improved electoral system.
From your point of view, how could the central government better listen to suggestions of Hong Kong SAR government?
The mere fact that the National People's Congress, being the highest organ of power in the People's Republic of China, has taken this very decisive step to use a two-step approach, that is a decision made and approved, and then the revision to Annex 1 and Annex 2 by the National People's Congress Standing Committee, is already by itself a reflection of their listening to the people of Hong Kong. I'm sure throughout the last few years, they have received a lot of feedback from the people of Hong Kong that Hong Kong is just too chaotic, that Hong Kong cannot get things done. And there are people who want to create a lot of tension and hatred and resentment of the central government. And all these are not conducive to Hong Kong's stability and prosperity. So having listened to those opinions and views and sentiments of the Hong Kong people, the central authorities have decided that it is timely to take this step to improve Hong Kong's electoral system. But specifically, if you want to ask what about moving forward, because the NPC has only delegated the authority to make the changes to Annex 1 and Annex 2 to the National People's Congress Standing Committee. So will the NPS Standing Committee continue to listen? I'm sure they will. And that's why in the next few days, senior officials from the Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office will come to Hong Kong. They will organize a lot of discussion sessions, meeting with people to listen to what they have to reflect, having heard the decision of the National People's Congress.